Welcome to Listening Tree Studio and Coaching. My name is Libby Pease, and I'm a certified life coach. So, why am I here today? Well, Valentine's! So, this is Valentine's week, and it turns out to be a week now instead of just a day, especially when it's in the middle of the week because, going out to dinner and all of that kind of stuff, it seems to extend out to an entire week. So on this Valentine's week, I just wanted to connect with you and just take a look at Valentine's Day and maybe a different approach to Valentine's Day for you. So with Valentine's Day, there's a lot of traditions and a lot of expectations. So chocolate, flowers, dinner, going out with somebody, your significant other, someone that you're interested in, someone that you want to have as a Valentine's. It can also be a difficult time for maybe people who have lost a mate or are no longer with somebody, or who are happily on their own. So one of the things that I would like to encourage maybe this Valentine's Day is, regardless of whether you are with somebody or on your own, how about this Valentine's Day wooing yourself? Okay? I know it's a kind of an interesting concept to woo yourself, loving yourself. And for many individuals, it might be terribly challenging. We might have been taught our entire life that self-denial is the way to go, that you only serve others and that it's selfish to serve yourself. And I'm going to counteract that. So in that situation where you're serving others, it's kind of like you've got a jug of water, let's say, and you're always pouring that jug, pouring, and suddenly you don't have anything left. There's nothing left to give. When you cultivate self-love, then you're always filling that jug up because you're feeding yourself and thereby being able to feed others. So it actually supports your ability to support others when you learn to love yourself, or when you start to love yourself and woo yourself. So what do I mean by wooing yourself? Okay. So what about this Valentine's Day? Take a look at it and say, what is it that I want and that I need and that feeds me? What are some ways that I can love everything about myself? So the strengths, the skills, the talents, the lumps, the bumps, the blemishes. All of those things incorporate who we are. Maybe even taking a look at what we want in our authentic lives. Are we able to even accept compliments? So one of the things that I've noticed, and I've noticed with my clients as well as with myself, is when you have had a life of self-denial, it sort of works like a wall. And it's a barrier towards other people to be even able to express love to you, because you can't accept it because you're denying yourself, so you're denying that love that's coming to you. You may not even notice that it's there. So when you are able to cultivate loving yourself, those barriers start coming down. You're no longer protecting yourself because you're confident in yourself, but you're able to let that love and joy in from others that you may not have even been aware of before. I remember back when I started doing the solution focus conversation, way back when I was working with one of the distress centers, and I really had a hard time accepting compliments. And I know my mentor out there will remember this. And she came up to me and she gave me a compliment, and she held my hands and looked into my eyes and gave me a compliment of how I was able to conduct and facilitate that training. And she didn't let go until I acknowledged it. And that was a very poignant part for me, because you live your whole life thinking, I need to be humble. I need to be self-denial, and that's the way that I will be accepted. But you can't get accepted until you open up to be able to hear that acceptance. And it was a quite interesting experience for me. So one of the things that I encourage with my clients is to start different steps of supporting that self-confidence, that worthiness, that wooing yourself and loving yourself and building exactly the person that you want to be, rather than what other people are telling you you need to be or should be. So what are some ways to be able to do that? So this isn't something that's just going to switch overnight. It's going to be a process, and it might take an awful lot of time. It could be baby steps, and that's totally understandable. You know, take the journey and understand that there's going to that whole journey is the process, like that hero's journey. It's not always going to be easy, but you're going to learn so much about yourself along the way. So one of the things I'm going to invite you to do, and it's kind of exciting to do this, is start a list of 50 reasons why you're amazing. Okay? You may not get 50 all in one go. You might only get 1 or 2. And that's fine, because with that 1 or 2, you can cultivate so much more from that. So I'm a gardener, and I grow peas. It kind of helps when your last name is Peas. But if you planted 1 pea plant at the beginning of the spring, okay, just 1 seed, and it grew up, it would produce maybe 5, maybe 6 pods, could be more if you have really great soil. And if you just left 1 of those pods on and let it dry and let those seeds drop, then you would have 5 more plants. Okay, so now you got 6 plants. And you do this 3 or 4 times over the summer, because you can get, 4 or 5 growths of peas from that individual plant that you started in the spring. And then suddenly you've got a bounty of peas, a bounty of nuggets of amazingness that you can share with others. Just like those 1 or 2 pieces on your list of why you're amazing, other parts will grow from that. I also am going to encourage you to listen for the compliments. Now, people will be like, what do you mean, listen for the compliments? When you focus on something, you will notice it. So if you are focusing on the red lights when you're driving, when you're late, you're going to see a whole bunch of red lights. If you're focusing on what people say, or Jeeps, that's a good example. If you have just bought a Jeep, you're going to notice 20 million other Jeeps on the road that you didn't notice before. If you're focusing on something, you will find it. So if you focus to hear, like truly hear, the compliments from others, you will find them. They will be there. And when you get those compliments, I encourage you, just like I had to do in front of my mentor, they may not hold your hand and look in your eyes and wait for you to actually acknowledge it, but I'm going to encourage you to take that and do that for yourself and hold on to it and breathe those compliments in. And see what changes for you. See what comes up for you. And also, you don't have to do it alone. As I said, I had a mentor to help me through that. I actually had a few mentors that helped me through to build and grow to get to the place where I could support others. And one last thing for this Valentine's Day, treat yourself. Okay? There might be a tool that you've always wanted or a scarf that you've always wanted and denied yourself. Go out and get it, because you're worth it, right? Don't wait for someone else in your life to get it. You might have it on a list or a note or something. Please, please, please get it for me. Why not get it for yourself? Treat yourself this Valentine's Day. Love yourself in whatever that form happens to be. Thank you for watching, and have an amazing Valentine's Day, and I'll see you soon.